Hello everyone, I am Desto24 and welcome back to Reverses, a show we pit two characters from different universes to see who will win in a based on research episode, or if I beat that case. Today we're having two characters from a Nintendo vs Sega rivalry, and unfortunately one of them has had the worst game of all time. In today's episode, we have between these two, Dimentio, the basically chaotic version of Jester, up against Solaris, the Thing, a sort of deity that's from a four-dimensional plane. And from the worst Sonic 06 game. I got nothing to say about these two, but there's one thing I could say is that they are definitely both powerful, but which one of them wins and one of them gets broken in half. Now for starters, let's start with Dimentio. Now for Dimentio's origin, it's a bit weird, and by that I mean it's a mystery. No one knows who been created of Dimentio or his past, mainly because it's pretty much unknown. But we do know he did work for Count Black, or Black Count. Anyways, he served with Count Black as his own personal servant throughout the game, you very much know. And basically enough, he is no doubt one of the minions of him, or basically a right-hand man. But his true intention is actually causing havoc throughout the chaos, and even stealing the chaos heart. To put it shortly, he just pretty much want to screw everyone over between both sides and mainly take the power of chaos heart for himself to destroy or even create chaos and basically destroy every existence of the multiverse at best, or universe at least. You know, about the origins of each villain of Mario series, especially non-canon ones, I think Dimentio is a far more crazy one, not saying much from other RPG Mario characters at least. Now, for Solaris, however, his origin is everywhere. But the only thing I could say that he was originally a living flame. And no, I am not kidding. It states that Solaris became too unstable, and the only way to protect the world, they had to split into two separate beings into the Solaris Project. And for Solaris Project, it's split into beings, just as one is a dark, his own conscious mind that can able to create his own intelligent abilities. And based on obvious, another being that pretty much established his own power. With that said, both of them are actually sealed. Well, kinda, because basically now they've later been sealed in Silver's timeline, but then somehow that Mollius got the original timeline. Look, the whole entire origin of Solaris is so convoluted and confusing. All I can say that if Princess Elise cried and something happened to her, whether it be from a death or someone, she'll pretty much release the seal that was sealing both Mobius Earthbeast and Solaris from the first place. Yeah, it's pretty much somehow it just keeps getting worse at this point, but we're not talking about the gameplay, we're talking about the characters. And what they do best is their powers. For Dimentio, he's skilled at magic. It definitely shows that he is a high degree at mystical abilities, especially in his own disposal. Even create boxes and that he trap people inside of it. And even after dying, he get able to leave enough magic to control the Chaos Heart. With that said, this pretty much shows that he also a skilled manipulator, as shown that he will mind control certain characters, especially throughout Luigi's mind. And that's saying much because there are incredible abilities that Dimentio have in his disposal, such as creating illusions or even closing himself to be pretty much confuse the character and even in a fight. And plus he is good at invisibility that allows to get a chance to be invisible, as well as dimensional manipulation. Now there are some things about Dimentio, but first, basically enough, for his final form is actually called Dimentio Super, or I like to call it the 3-dimensional Luigi. With that said, it gained the power of Chaos Heart, we'll get to that soon, and it gave him the ability of new powers, such as L Power, where he able to use a full release blast of the Chaos Heart instead of the Void. Now, for the Chaos Heart, it's a very interesting object, but with it, he will be able to use it and increase his power and even equals towards the Hero Hearts. Not only that, it also grants vulnerability and protecting the user from any harm to his disposal, even the boy itself, aka basically enough to creation to destroy his space and time, and even the whole universes. As for Solaris, is basic. He pretty much performs some techniques as building abilities such as mirror storms, rays of light, which are pretty much destroying beings at this point. He also has armor shield and his first form, and basically now can be broken into full power being attacked by super forms like by the Fallen Hedgehog team. And of course, he also possesses reality warping, where he is instantly capable of erasing any entire timelines, whether it be summoned or being created into an asset known as the end of the world. And his final form is summoning like a Triforce at best. With it, he can able to use this kind of power and shield and can be shattered into a core. Based on the same, simply just mostly the same stars but different. Now, I know this seems a bit odd, but saying that Solaris it had 72 forms, it could be possible that he can able to transform into one of them, well, if given a chance. So that Mobius, where he get able to possess the power of hidden shadows to each other and even send clones to Mobius, which ironically he had three different forms. In his final form, however, is capable of much sharper more and even damage it with lava spears. To put it simply, Solaris is surprisingly that good when it comes with his own self. I don't know that council, but I should put it to mention it. However, despite their powers, they're not even that great. Well, as turn out being defeated, such as Dimentio. The only time I could say that Dimentio isn't vulnerable, and when he gets extremely full of himself sometimes. I mean seriously, this guy literally lost to his own fights, and even pretty much, even though he threatened heaven, hell, and souls, he still lose. And even though the Super Dimentio is powerful, it does require a lot amount of energy and a lot of prep time to transform, even being prepared so at least. And ironically, that he do possess a Chaos Heart, so why not just use the battery at best to power his final form at least? I don't know, guys. Basically enough, that all can say that Dimentio is a brief one, but have fooled himself. As for Solaris, he got lots, and basically enough, he don't retain Mobius intelligence at this best, but he does mostly lack of feats, and appears to even rely on scaling. And knowing that, he only had temporary operation, as well as non-spiritual, and plus he had like a very in terms of his attacks. And although it's impossible to kill, however, the only way to defeat Solaris is that he's weakened. So by simply, you can able to defeat him in his second form / final. And knowing that, I know this is not technically a kind of defeat, all his origin is weak. Seriously, at best. But I'll give it credit. At least it's not like a total cash-in like the unknown channel that I will not be mentioning here, because it could be a fact that I could get a flame argument or a hate comment at least. Put simply, Solaris is a powerful one, but a very confusing villain as a whole at best. Seriously, play all Sonic 06. You know what I mean as the most confusing and awful. Despite all that, both of them are capable, maybe kind of like a reality warfare at best. Both of them are pretty skilled in their powers, well mainly some of them, and basically now they are capable of standing toe to toe with the main heroes. However, you pretty much know at this point, you know who wins this episode. That being Dimentio. And the reason, okay, you know what, I just pretty much spent this entire episode talking about these two, but I'll keep it brief with the reason why Dimentio win. Now, based on, for starters, let's get some things out of the way. Solaris at best is fast. He at best is immersible, and saying that he is a higher dimensional being at least, beyond a lower time, whether it be time and space at least. Same with Lithic String, and basically now, it couldn't able to do that. But even in the end, he still loses to Dimentio, with all the good reasons. For starters, his striking and power is pretty much outclassed Solaris, because basically now, with the power of the Chaos Heart, it can able to destroy total of all worlds, even timelines and possibilities, even from both the canon, non-canon, or the Mario universe. And plus, it can be shown where dreams of the civilians and turn into the entire universe at least. While it's possible that both of them can able to get a talent advantage, but like I said before, Solaris can or may not possess any Mobius genius, while Dimentio is good at it, because basically now, he can easily manipulate and even scheme his own way to defeat Solaris. Hell, I can think of a few hundred reasons why that he can able to beat Solaris at best. And that, it pretty much goes down to durability, and what could I say about it? Dimentio pretty much survived the whole entire destruction of existence, and going the cause of it as well. Even when Solaris can able to erase timelines, Dimentio can able to destroy universe, even a multiverse at best. And look, I know there's some people gotta be defending that Solaris could have won the fight, but even in the end, Dimentio pretty much outclassed Solaris. It pretty much the rest of the category, and that's saying for power abilities as well. All I can say is that if I were given a chance of having both of them, it could be either it's that Solaris mostly focused on his full power, while I stick with Dimentio before he got the Chaos Heart. But even that, it's pretty much turned down to their power, and even their own capabilities. So, basically now, to put it simply, while Solaris is capable of much more faster and even outblitz Dimentio, or even fast with Lithic String, depending if you're gonna look at that through. But in the end, the episode pretty much says that Dimentio pretty much defeats Solaris in the end of the day. So, to put it simply, it was a good effort for Solaris, but again, Do we no more for this dimensional being? Yeah, I could come out with better pun, but base enough. It's Sonic 06 character, what do you expect? Anyways, the winner of this episode is Dimentio from the Mario Paper series, or Paper Mario.